Hi guys, it's Jenny with Art for Good. So today I have an advanced technique idea for you if you have really mastered the Dutch pour or most of the other acrylic pouring techniques and you're looking for some way to kind of step up a little bit in terms of the composition and difficulty of the techniques. This is a perfect video for you. And if you're interested in acrylic paint pouring at all, it's still, I find, a very relaxing and interesting video to watch. So bear with me. This one is a journey. So I'm starting with some titanium white down first, a very thin layer, and I placed a cereal bowl on top. Now I'm just layering in some other colors around that. So I have a parchment color, more white, and I'll put all of the brands and the specific colors in the description below so you don't have to worry about writing that down right now. I'm using some Naples yellow, and most of my colors are mixed to a pretty fluid consistency, like you would for any other Dutch pour. All of my paints are mixed with some Floetrol and water. My exact ratio is about 1 part paint, 2 parts Floetrol, and then about 1/2 to 1 part water. Now I'm going to hold down the bowl and work the paint around the bowl. It creates this beautiful spiral pattern. If you have been following me in my other videos at all, this is a very common composition for me. I call it either a cake pan pour or a cereal bowl pour. And this one actually has 3 different layers of using an object to help create the flow of the paint. We're using a cereal bowl. We're going to also be using a party tub later, so stay tuned for that. Now, the key to this is to really make sure you are not left with a lot of paint. You want to continue to work most of that paint off the canvas because this is a bigger canvas. This is a 20 by 24. First of all, the center has a tendency to start to sag a little bit just under the weight of the paint, and so most of the paint will move towards the center. If you have too much, that's not going to be good. And also, when you pick up that bowl, if you have too much paint left around it, then it will interfere with the shape of that center that you created and tried to protect. So, all right, we're going to lift the bowl and reveal a beautiful little sun that looks like it's sinking into a creamsicle colored sky. So I'm already loving where this is going. Now in comes the party tub. I'm going to protect that center of the composition there. We're going to create some more dimension around it by introducing some other colors. So I am using this orange color. Again, I'll put the exact color in the description below, along with all the other supplies that I used and recipe for my paint mixture. More Naples yellow. And then I have I mixed some Payne's gray with a metallic cobalt, and it made this beautiful kind of dark teal color. Just going to put a little bit in there, not much. I don't want it to overtake the whole composition. And then I also have some cerulean blue, and I'll just throw in a tiny bit in there. I did mix that cerulean blue with the Payne's gray just to create more of a French blue color. All right, now we're just going to go around very carefully. And again, just working most of that paint off, making sure we're creating the illusion of movement with these colors and the blending of these colors. I'm also trying to blow most of the paint off. Just again, when I remove that party tub, I don't want it all to flood in. And voila. So now I'm going to work on, and actually this composition is tilted, so this will be a portrait painting, which I will show you at the end how it dries. I'm gonna work on creating a dark corner here. I think that just helps draw the eye towards the center. I'm using more of that blue here. And then I have just pure Payne's gray, which is a little bit darker than that blue I was using. Again, working darker at the corner towards the light in the center where that sun is the goal. I have my hairdryer on a low setting here just because I want to cover the canvas with the paint. And I really want to be intentional about how I'm disrupting this dark part and introducing it to the other segments of this painting, because it can go crazy very quickly. So it's always good to work slowly. Now I've kind of upped the speed to really blend things together a little bit more. Now I want to do a little bit of a modified twist here where the center of this blue piece, it kind of curves upward and the center stays down. So it creates more of a curved pattern, again, kind of mimicking this circular theme we have going on here today. And you just have to be very careful about the angle of your hairdryer as well as the speed and direction of what you're doing. So practice a little bit if you feel like you need to on something else or a smaller piece. And that's how I have learned how to do this. It's really nothing more special than that, just practice. All right, so now I'm just going to do some of the finishing touches. So that includes using my breath to help blow some of the pieces out that didn't really, jive with my vision of the composition. And here, for example, I'm doing some pieces with my breath just to add a little lightness and break up this corner that turned a little bit muddy. So introducing some of the white that's hiding behind those colors is just a way to add a little bit more interest in the top piece. I'm also going to make sure all the corners are covered, of course. I don't typically pre-paint my corners because, again, a lot of the times I'm just painting on the fly. Like this piece here, I just made up on the fly. I had some colors I liked and I thought, hey, let's try using the bowl and the party tub and see what happens. So it's hard for me to pre-paint the corners, but I know in some compositions it's easier to do just to make sure you're not missing any spots. And especially like I tend to pre-mix colors or mix custom colors, and it's very hard to go back and do touch-ups when you didn't save any. Say you used all the paint in that color. So I like to spend a little bit of time at this stage just making sure all of that is good. I also just dabbing some areas that this little spot in the middle here was a little distracting, so I'm just blending that in a little bit more. All right, and this is the final piece after it has dried. I really love how this came together. It is like some kind of a abstract fairyland version of a wave. I'm going to call this painting Dreaming because it's not exactly realistic, but it's super interesting, I think. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you're interested in looking at more of my cake pan pours that have been very popular, actually probably more popular than any of my other painting composition videos, please go ahead and watch this playlist that I'll leave you with here. And also stay tuned. I've got some really cool stuff coming up in talking about things like how working through creative block and how to deal with criticism and trolls on the internet. So fun times. If you're not a subscriber, now is the time to do so. Well, that's all the time I have for today. I'll see you next time.